Hi guys, today we are going to travel in time, so prepare your time machines. We are going to travel to Russia after the Russian Revolution. Remember why? Because we are going to continue with Mikhail Zощenko. He was a famous writer and he created mostly in the first period after the revolution. So today we are going to take our time machine and travel to the 1920s. And our story is Собачий нюх. Remember what is Собачий? What is нюх? Нюх means sense of smell. So dogs smell, dog's sense of smell. It's a funny story. It's going to put you in a good mood. But first, please open your printed materials. Just treat it as lessons in the fullest sense of the word, even though we're having fun here basically, but those are lessons. You are improving your Russian big time here. So you need to take care that those materials are printed. If you don't have them in printed, then at least open the link below this video so that you see it on the screen. But if you can print it till the next lesson, that's going to be great. So Собачий нюх, the dog's sense of smell. First of all, I'm not going to remind you like just several points. I'm going to read everything to you what we learned the last time. And I'm going to give you a brief translation of that. Because it's not much. And it has been some time since the previous lesson based on this story. So I'm just going to read. So we started from the beginning the last time. And we finished with this sentence. You can see it on the screen. Рухнула бабка на колени перед агентом. I'm just going to read everything to you. First, the people who were present at the last lesson, please check your comprehension. You will see, you will probably surprise yourself with your comprehension and your retention of the material from the last lesson. And if you are new, then at least you will know what we were talking about, and then we will continue. So listen how it works. У купца Еремея Бабкина сперли енотовую шубу. Взвыл купец Еремей Бабкин. Жалко ему, видите ли. Шуба-то, говорит, больно хороша, граждане. Жалко, денег не пожалею, а уж найду преступника. Плюну ему в морду. И вот, вызвал Еремей Бабкин уголовную собаку-ищейку. Является этакий человек в кепочке, в обмотках, а при нем собака. Этакая даже собачища, коричневая, морда острая и несимпатичная. Ткнул этот человек собачку свою в следы возле двери, сказал «пс» и отошел. Понюхала собака воздух, повела по тропе глазом, народ, конечно, собрался, и вдруг к бабке Фёкле с 5-го номера подходит и нюхает ей подол. Бабка за толпу, собака за юбку, бабка в сторону, и собака за ней ухватила бабку за юбку и не пущает. Рухнула бабка на колени перед агентом. Okay, now, so, guys, how much did you understand? I hope that you got, if not perfect, then at least, at least big percentage of the content. But I'm just going to remind you. The merchant Yeремей Babkin got his raccoon fur coat stolen. Moaned and groaned the merchant Yeремей Babkin. He doesn't want to depart from it, you see? The fur coat, he says, very good, fellow citizens. I don't want to give it. I will not spare money. But I will find the criminal. I'll spit in his face. Sorry, spit at his face. And so, Yeремей Babkin summoned an investigative dog. Appears a certain fellow with a cap, in rags, and with him a dog. Some kind of a huge, giant dog. You remember собачища, kind of a funny word, yeah? Собачища. A giant dog. Коричневая, a brown one. The muzzle is sharp and non-attractive. Несимпатичная, non-attractive. That fellow pushed his dog into the footsteps near the door said "Psst," and took a step away. Отошел, right? Took a step away. The dog smelled the air, looked at the crowd, like along the crowd. You see, remember повела по толпе from the previous lesson? Like she moved her eyes along the crowd. The crowd, of course, gathered, and suddenly approaches Babka Fokla. You remember what Babka means? It's kind of just a lady from the middle, from let's say age 30 and something, and up to the old age. You could relate to the woman as Babka, but it's a very simple. It's a kind of a village word, kind of a common folk word, yeah. So the dog approaches Babka Fokla from the 5th room and smells the lower part of her dress. Babka behind the crowd, like meaning she went behind the crowd. The dog caught the dress, not the dress, sorry, the skirt. Юбку, the skirt. Babka to the side and the dog after her. Grabbed Babka with her dress, with her skirt, and doesn't let go. Рухнула. So what is рухнула? Do you remember from the previous time? Рухнула? Рухнула means collapsed. And what is на колени? На колени meaning on her knees. So рухнула бабка на колени перед агентом. So the Babka collapsed on her knees before the agent. Like that guy with the dog, before the agent. And we continue from here. So today we will start with да говорит from here. And we are going to finish with the word навзничь. Can you see that? I'm just showing you on the screen the passage that we will read today. So listen, for the first reading. Да, говорит, попалась, не отпираюсь. И говорит, 5 ведер закваски – это так. И аппарат – это действительно верно. Все, говорит, находится в ванной комнате. Ведите меня в милицию. Ну, народ, конечно, ахнул. А шуба, спрашивают. Про шубу, говорит, ничего не знаю и ведать не ведаю. А остальное это так. Ведите меня, казните. Ну, увели бабку. Снова взял агент собачищу свою. Снова ткнул ее носом в следы. Сказал «псс» и отошел. Повела собачище глазом, понюхала пустой воздух и вдруг к гражданину управдому подходит. Побледнел управдом, упал навзничь. So, now let's start working on that. Please take your papers and pens, notebooks, etc. Да, говорит, попалась. Yes, she says. Попалась means got caught. She's talking about herself. I got caught. Не отпираюсь. Отпираюсь comes from отпираться, and it means to deny. So when she says не отпираюсь, it means I'm not denying. И говорит, 5 ведер закваски – это так. Закваска is a certain initial component for vodka. You have, in Russian, you have vodka produced at home called samagon. So here, she speaks in relation to that, and that's a criminal offense to produce it. At least it was like that in the past. I don't know about it now. But zakvaska is the primary ingredient for that. So that's zakvaska. Just wait a second. I'll see how the English word for that. So maybe the English word would be barm, B-A-R-M, but I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a basis for an alcoholic drink. So, и говорит 5 ведер. Ведер comes from ведро, which is a bucket. So, 5 ведер закваски would be 5 buckets of that alcoholic drink. So, и говорит 5 ведер закваски, это так. And says, meaning she says, бабка says, 5 buckets of that material, alcoholic material, Это так. That is so. И аппарат – это действительно верно. Аппарат means device, meaning device for producing the liquor. Действительно means truly. And верно means correct. So when she says и аппарат – это действительно верно. So, and the device – that's truly right. What does she mean by saying that? She means that she has it. Like, she kind of admits that she has it. Yeah, and that's really right. Like, really, I have it. That's what she says. Все, говорит, находится в ванной комнате. Ванная комната means bathroom. Ванная комната. Bathroom. So, все, говорит, находится в ванной комнате. So, everything says, meaning she says. Находится means located or situated or present. So everything, she says, is located in the bathroom. Ведите меня в милицию. Militia is like a police. A police, yeah? So, ведите меня means take me. Because ведите, it's like, basically it means guide me. But in Russian, when you say ведите меня, it just means take me. So take me to the police, to the militia. Ну, народ, конечно, ахнул. So, nu in this case means and. In other contexts it might mean many other things. But and, народ means crowd. Конечно, of course. Ахнул. Ахнул, it means said, ach, like was like in surprise. So basically, ахнул means was surprised. So, ну, народ, конечно, ахнул. And the crowd, the people, of course, were surprised. А шуба, спрашивают, and the fur coat, they ask. Про шубу, говорит, ничего не знаю и ведать не ведаю, а остальное это так. So, ничего не знаю, I know nothing. Ведать не ведаю, basically it means the same. So you can underline in your printed materials, you can underline ведать не ведаю. And just right above, I know nothing. I know nothing. Остальное means the rest. And the rest, это так, that is so. So now look how it works together. Про шубу, говорит, ничего не знаю и ведать не ведаю, а остальное это так. About the fur coat, she says, I know nothing, and I know nothing, because basically it's like, it's the same, those two expressions are the same. And the rest, that is so, ведите меня, казните. So, ведите меня means take me, yeah, you remember ведите, take me, and казните means, basically it means punish me, but the original word казнить means basically to perform a death sentence. But more generally, it just means punish me. So when she says ведите меня, казните, it means take me, punish me. Ну, увели бабку. Увели means took. You see, it's the same ведите, увели, that's the same root. Ведите, that's an imperative, plural, and увели, that's past tense plural. Ну, увели бабку. And they took бабка. So they took her to the police. Снова взял агент собачищу свою, снова ткнул ее носом в следы, сказал пс и отошел. It's good repetition of the words. So снова means again. Again took the agent his giant dog. Again pushed her nose into the, you remember следы? Footsteps. Into the footsteps. Сказал пс, said пс, и отошел, and took a step away. So we already had this sentence. Therefore, I just do it briefly. Повела собачище глазом, понюхала пустой воздух, и вдруг к гражданину управдому подходит. So, повела собачище глазом, it means, повела means shifted. In this case, повела, shifted. So, shifted the giant dog an eye. Yeah? But повела глазом, that's basically an expression meaning just to glance along something or to look along something. So повела собачище глазом basically means she looked around. Понюхала пустой воздух. Понюхала means smelled. Smelled the empty. Пустой means empty. Воздух air. Smelled the empty air. И вдруг means suddenly. К гражданину управдому подходит. So гражданин basically means citizen, but it's just a form to address a person. After the Russian Revolution, they would say гражданин. They wouldn't say like sir, sir, madame, господин. You see, they wouldn't say that. They would say гражданин, citizen. And in feminine form, that would be гражданка. So гражданину управдому подходит. Управдом, that's a guy in charge of a living house, in charge of an apartment building. That's управдом. Because управдом, дом means house, and управ, that's a shortening form of управляющий, like the manager. Therefore, управдом, that would be the manager of a building. So, к гражданину управдому подходит, approaches, гражданин, like the citizen building manager. So now, how it all looks together, just see how it all works together. Повела собачище глазом, понюхала пустой воздух, и вдруг гражданину управдому подходит. So the giant dog, повела глазом means looked around, smelled the empty air, and suddenly approaches the citizen house manager. Побледнел управдом, упал навзничь. Побледнел means became white, became pale. Yeah, so not white, pale. So побледнел means became pale, and навзничь means on his back. So упал навзничь means fell on his back. Therefore, altogether, побледнел управдом, упал навзничь would mean the house manager became pale and fell on his back. So basically the humor of this story is that everyone is doing something illegal. So it might not be related to that fur coat, but everyone is doing something illegal and is really scared that the dog would find him. So that's the humor of the story. That's very funny. But now let's read this whole part that we have studied today, and you will see that your comprehension is much better than it was at the beginning. So we are talking first about бабка. Да, говорит, попалась, не отпираюсь. И говорит, 5 ведер закваски – это так. И аппарат – это действительно верно. Все, говорит, находится в ванной комнате. Ведите меня в милицию. Ну, народ, конечно, ахнул. А шуба? Спрашивают. Про шубу, говорит, ничего не знаю и ведать не ведаю, а остальное это так. Ведите меня, казните. Ну, увели бабку. Снова взял агент собачищу свою, снова ткнул ее носом в следы, сказал «пс» и отошел. Повела собачище глазом, понюхала пустой воздух и вдруг к гражданину управдому подходит. Побледнел управдом, упал навзничь. So guys, I told you would have fun. Now you can take your time machine and move back to present time. I'll see you at the next lesson. If you need help with your Russian, contact me using the email below this video. Ciao, ciao.